Hi, I'm Tina Chen. Welcome to Multicultural Spotlight on the Chinese Community. Today we have with us Dr. Frank Guan and Mr. Gord Dung, and we're going to talk a little bit about the dragon dance and its new arrival in the Chinese community. Welcome, Gord and Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to just ask you a little bit, how did we get to have a dragon dance in the Winnipeg Chinese Cultural Center?
The dragon is the totem for the Chinese culture. It has been there for a few thousand years. In ancient times, even nowadays, some people still believe dragon has a supernatural power. Dragon controls everything, like water, flood, or fire. So Chinese people love dragon. At the same time, Chinese people are afraid of dragon. So in ancient times, the emperors called themselves as the son of dragon, and themselves, they are dragon comes to human beings' world. So people have to obey them, and people have to loyal to them. And all the Chinese, at the same time, we regard ourselves as posterities of dragon. So dragon dance is celebration, and for the Chinese culture, also the dragon dance is best, most meaningful and significant culture representation for Chinese culture. So when we joined the Winnipeg Chinese Culture Community Center, we always want to promote the Chinese culture in our community and to show the people outside the community how great and how wonderful Chinese culture. And we decided to do something which had never been done before. And dragon dance team in Winnipeg Chinese Community Culture Center was founded 6 months ago. And all the performers are volunteers from all walks of life. In this team, we have doctors, engineers, professors, computer experts, and entrepreneurs like Gord Dung. And well, all the people love Chinese culture, like to share the Chinese culture with other communities, and we come together. Because it has never been done in Winnipeg before, and we have to teach ourselves. Most time we have to squeeze our memories from our childhood when we watching the show, and also nowadays we can go to the internet, for example, YouTube, to check out how they perform, and we learn from them, and then we design our own move. So like you have seen today, and the dragon dance team, we welcome everyone to join us, and also performing the dragon dance is a very good way to do physical exercise, make friends, promote culture, to understand the Chinese culture. So all benefits to the performers. So we welcome everyone, whoever is interested, and regardless you are Chinese or non-Chinese, we join together, we have fun together.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's a very exciting addition, I think, to the Chinese Cultural Center, and it's great to see. Gord, I know you've been part of other groups, and one of the questions that always gets asked is, well, what's the difference between a lion dance and a dragon dance? And I know you've been involved in both, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your experiences as a lion dancer and as in the dragon dance troupe?
Well, with the dragon, it's you need 9 people to operate it, and a dragon being a mythical creature, it moves a certain way. The perception is it undulates like a snake, and with a lion, it's done with two performers, a head and a tail. But the thing is, if you've seen the lion, it looks nothing like a lion, and that's because the people in China heard about this lion, but they've never seen it. So that's why this is their perception of what a lion looks like and how it behaves.
Thanks. So how long is this dragon? I hear that sometimes dragons can be, 80 feet, 100 feet. Some of them I've read can be even as long as a few kilometers or more. So tell me a little bit more about your dragon. How long is it? Where did you get it from? How much does it weigh? Is it heavy to move around?
Yes, in terms of size of dragon, you have different size of dragon. Our dragon is need 9 people, is 16 feet. And also, for professional, they have 13 people to make the move. Obviously, the longer the dragon, harder. You need to coordinate the move, and also you need to make the shape and wave the way it's supposed to be. And also the head of dragon for hours is 20 pounds. So when you wave it, most time 5-6 minutes, you're out of breath. So we have prepared for different performers to perform the dragon. Also for the tail, with the Gore is playing the tail, you need extra move for example, 1 feet move for the head, you need 3, even 4 feet move for the tail. So heavy for the head and more move for the tail. And also whenever we have a different movement, let's say we have a back to back and put the stick in the back, and also we can develop some jump movement in the later. So those things make things harder. And keep in mind that all the people probably from different profession, a different job, and have never done this. So different move than other things, so make things harder. But after the practice, after exercise, we can get there.
So, Gord, you've joined this troupe, and you look like you're having a lot of fun when you're doing this. And it's I think one of the things that's really exciting about the Dragon Troupe in particular is that there's so many people. So it requires a lot of teamwork. It requires working with each other and making friendships. I know you've grew up in Chinatown area, and so I'm just wondering, could you tell us a little bit about what your memories are, what kind of what other ways you've been involved in the Chinese community and different cultural activities over the years?
I've lived in Chinatown for almost 40 years now. I remember as a young boy walking to Chinatown with my mother and doing my shopping and everything like that with her there. And I remember seeing the first folkloramas where they cordoned off the street and then they did the lion dance from shop to shop with the firecrackers, and it was very, very exciting. And the drum used to follow the lion dance all down the street. And again, with the firecrackers, with the lettuce being thrown around, it was very exciting.
And so what kind of changes do you think you've seen? I know you've continued to live there. What are some of the kind of cultural highlights for you, for groups you've been involved in, and what keeps bringing you back to try out all these new things, including the dragon dance?
Well, I live within a block of the cultural center, and I belong to the Centennial Community Improvement Association, which is the residents association for the area. And we strive to make the area better for everyone that lives there. And Chinatown is part of this area. And throughout the years, you've seen the changes, good, bad, and it's improving now with the Center Ventures new plan for revitalizing the Chinatown area. That's very, very exciting. And again, being a resident of the area, you just want to see it better for everybody that lives there and works there.
I know that you're incredibly modest, because all of us know that your work in the community has contributed to, and you now have a park named for you and your contributions in the area. Do you want to tell us a little bit, what does it mean, I think, not necessarily to be recognized in that way, but to be able to play a role in creating community in the space that historically has been for Chinese communities, but now is much more diverse as well?
Well, the park was the former councillor Mike Pagdican called me up one day and said, how would you feel about having a park named after you? And at the time, I thought he was joking, and but
Like Mike always
yeah,
does.
yeah. And so he convinced me that no, he wasn't joking. But then he had to convince me that to accept that as well. And I thought I was not really deserving of that. But he said, no, you do deserve this. And so that's how that came to be. But the park itself, it was a green space that was vacant for about 40 years. And we've tried many things over the years, but unfortunately we weren't able to get it developed. But with the revitalization of Chinatown and the area in itself, there's new businesses, new residences, all coming into play. And the thing is, like, with all the people in the community, they were really looking forward to this park opening. People would walk around the park as it was being constructed, and everybody was asking, when does it open? When does it open? And the day it opened, the park was already being used. But as the fence was coming down, we have a community garden, and as the fence was coming down, people were running in there and starting to plant. And we have a wood oven in the park. We have open barbecue pits. We have picnic tables, and as I said, the community garden as well. So it's something for everyone, and it's amazing watching the people come in. And we have daycare kids coming in there for lunches every day. We have dog walkers. We have community residents. Everyone in that park constantly.
Well, thanks. I mean, I think it's such a special reminder to think about how, the space it's about building cultural opportunities, celebrating cultural sort of activities, but also that the way that the space is configured is also a really important part of making community. Yeah. Dr. Gwen, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you came to be part of the Chinese Cultural Center, and, what does it mean? You practice regularly, you put aside a lot of time to sort of bring together the Dragon Troupe. So what does that mean for you, and how does it help kind of enrich your life and kind of your place in Winnipeg?
Yeah, I came to Canada in 1999, and that time I was a visiting scholar. First year I came here, I was so excited to find out there's an activity called the Folklorama. So I love to see different culture. I love to see different performance. So I went to so many pavilions to join them, celebrate their culture, and watch the show. Obviously, fantastic food as well, and I really enjoy that. So later on, I find out that at the Chinese Community Culture Center, we do have our own pavilion. So I just want to be part of it, and I want to join the community. So after I graduated from dental school, I joined the Winnipeg Chinese Culture Center. First time I joined the volunteer job at the community center is 2014. That time I was in charge of a cultural display, and just trying to promote Chinese culture and try my best to enjoy the pavilion, enjoy the process to promote Chinese culture. And following the time, I enjoy the Chinese pavilion every year after that. And this year is the 50th anniversary for the Folklorama. And the Chinese pavilion is one of the 8 original founders in 1970. So to celebrate the 50th anniversary, and as one of original founders, we want to do something special. We want to do something unique. So we look around and we check it out, and we found opportunity. The dragon dance has never been done before, and also it happened the dragon dance is the pretty unique culture symbol for Chinese culture, and that's what we decided. And we look around and do the homework. We trying to find a coach in Toronto, Vancouver, and they ask for so much time, and obviously the cost is so much as well. So we decided that we find a way to purchase a equipment or the dragons online, and we got that, and we have to ask the local business to help us to ship that dragon to Winnipeg. And we waited for 4 months after we placed the order to get into Winnipeg. And so lucky thing we have a good facility in the Winnipeg Chinese Cultural Center. We have a gym, so we can start practice in February. And we got the people getting involved, the people so excited. And we even have 2 non-Chinese people. They're from Portugal, and they love the dragon dance, and they joined us for a while. And the dragon dance we have performed at the kickoff of Fokorama this year, and all the audience were cheering for us and so excited. And so our dragon dance will perform in the coming week in Chinese Pavilion. And if you like, you can come and join us and celebrate the fantastic moment with us.
Yeah, it's very exciting for all of us to be able to see the dragon performing, particularly in the space of the Chinese Garden. So the Chinese Garden, of course, is a particularly beautiful place in the city that many people aren't familiar with. And, you know, I think for any of us who are associated with the cultural center and the kind of promotion of the Chinese community, it really is such a nice opportunity to be able to draw attention to that. And you know, we're, I think, very excited about watching that space in particular come alive with the dragon and watching it kind of weave its way through the garden and against the backdrop of the cultural center, because it really sort of brings life to the area and makes it feel very dynamic. So it should be, you know, next week will be a great opportunity for many people to come by. It's outdoors, so people can drop by, they can watch they can watch the dragon dance each evening, and that will be a really, you know, kind of visually stunning, but also kind of, you know, culturally, a new cultural experience for all of us. So, you know, the combination of kind of a whole new visual aesthetic, thinking about it, the colors that will come to life in there, but just the whole dynamic idea of people coming together and making the dragon come alive, because it can't be alive without all the people in the community. So we thank you for, you know, taking the initiative on this.
My pleasure.
Gord, do you want to tell us a little bit? You've been involved in many different organizations. And so, you know, I think some people like you who've spent a lot of time living in the Chinatown area, you know, have been through things and been involved with the Chinese Benevolent Association, different groups. And yeah, I'd just like to hear a little bit more about what different groups are there and what kinds of things can get yourself up to in Chinatown.
There's lots happening in Chinatown. People don't realize it, but there's like, you know, we have a board of directors and a lot of subcommittees. We look for like the students from, say, Red River College or University of Manitoba, University of Winnipeg, to join us. We've got people in the gym with sports, different sports, basketball, kung fu, tai chi. There is lots to do inside the cultural center.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Guan and Gord, for joining us today. It's been a really great opportunity for us to learn a little bit more about the dragon dance, to think about what types of people have joined the troupe so far and what kind of experiences and background you bring, and the way that you've been able to sort of add a new dimension to Chinese culture and particularly to the life of Chinatown. It's going to be very exciting. We know that the dragon will be performing in the Chinese Garden after our Fokorama shows every evening through all next week, and so we hope people will come out and join and come watch this great performance. But probably, perhaps even more importantly, is that Dr. Guan, as the leader of the troupe, always welcomes new members to come join and to ask about the possibility of having them perform. It's absolutely stunning, and I think it's going to be a really exciting addition to the Chinese cultural landscape, and we know we're going to be seeing them in many different venues.